Hare Krishna. Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Jai Kunja Gopijana Vallabha Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Kunja Vihari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopishana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopishana Vallabha Girivaradhari Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe, Radha Madan Mohan Radhe, Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha, Baladeva Jaya Subhadrama, Jaya Jagannatha Jagannatha, Baladeva Jaya Subhadrama, Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai, Gauranitai, Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Jaya Gaura. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jagadharma Shri Harinam Sankirtan Jai Samveta Gaurav. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Bhagavati Ruttamaśloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishti Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya. We are reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 9, the Supreme Character of Jada, text number 5. Text number 5 doesn't have purport, so I'll read myself. Sachapi tad uha pitra sanidhav eva satrichinam ivasma karoti chandamsi adhyapaishwan paishyan saha prahritibi sapranava shiras tripadim savitrim graishma vasantikan masan adiyanam api asamaveta rupam grahayam asha. Translation: Jarabharat behaved before his father like a fool, despite his father's adequately instructing him in Vedic knowledge. He behaved in that way so that his father would know that he was unfit for instruction and would abandon the attempt to instruct him further. He would behave in a completely opposite way. Although instructed to wash his hands after evacuating, he would wash them before. Nonetheless, his father wanted to give him Vedic instructions during the spring and summer. He tried to teach him the Gayatri mantra along with Omkara and Vyahriti. But after 4 months, his father still was not successful in instructing him. Now, text number 6. Evam swatanuja atmani anuragaveshita chitta socha dhyana vrata niyama guru anala shushushanadi opakurvanaka karmani anabhiyuktani api samanusishtena bhavyam iti asad agrahaputram anushashya swayam tavad anadigata manoratha kalena pramattena swayam graha eva pramata usasamhita. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada. Word to word meaning, evam, thus, swa, own, tanuje, in his son Jadabharat, Atmani, whom he considered to be himself, Anuraga Aveshita Chitta, the Brahmana was absorbed in love for his son. Saucha, cleanliness. Adhyayana, study of Vedic literature. Vrata, accepting all the vows. Niyama, regulative principles. Guru, of the spiritual master. Anala of the fire, Shushushana Adi, the service, etc. Opakurvanaka of the Brahmacharya ashram, Karamani, all the activities, Anabhiyuktanyapi, although not liked by his son, Samanushishtena, fully instructed, Bhavyam, should be, Iti, thus, Asat Agraha, having unsuitable obstinacy, Putram, his son, Anushasya, instructing, Swayam, himself, Tavat, in that way, Anadigata, Manoratha, not having fulfilled his desires, Kalena, by the influence of time, Apramattena, which is not forgetful, Swayam, he himself, Grihe, to his home, Eva, certainly, Pramatta, being madly attached, Upashamhrata, died. Translation: the Brahmana father of Jada considered his son his heart and soul, and therefore he was very much attached to him. He thought it wise to educate his son properly, and being absorbed in this unsuccessful endeavor, he tried to teach his son the rules and regulations of brahmacharya, including the execution of the Vedic vows, cleanliness, study of the Vedas, the regulative methods, service to the spiritual master, and the method of offering a fire sacrifice. He tried his best to teach his son in this way, but all his endeavors failed. In his heart, he hoped that his son would be a learned scholar, but all his attempts were unsuccessful. Like everyone, this Brahmana was attached to his home, and he had forgotten that someday he would die. Death, however, was not forgetful. At the proper time, death appeared and took him away. Purport: those too attached to family life who forget that death comes in the future to take them away become attached and unable to finish their duty as human beings. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jagannath Vallabh Subhadramai, Shri Shri Gaurnitai Ki. The duty of human life is to solve all the problems of life, but instead people remain attached to family affairs and duties. Although they forget death, death will not forget them. Suddenly they will be kicked off the platform of a peaceful family life. One may forget that he has to die, but death never forgets. Death comes always at the right time. The Brahmana father of Jada wanted to teach his son the process of brahmacharya, but he was unsuccessful due to his son's unwillingness to undergo the process of Vedic advancement. Jada was simply concerned with returning home back to Godhead by executing devotional service through Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu. He did not care for the Vedic instructions of his father. When one is fully interested in the service of the Lord, he does not need to follow all the regulative principles enunciated in the Vedas. Of course, for an ordinary man, the Vedic principles are imperative. No one can avoid them. But when one has attained the perfection of devotional service, it is not very important to follow the Vedic principles. Lord Krishna advised Arjuna to ascend to the platform of Nisraigunya, the transcendental position above the Vedic principles. Traigunya Vishaya Veda Nisraigunyo Bhava Arjuna Nidvando Nitya Satvastu Niryoga Kshema Atmavan. The Vedas mainly deal with the subject of the three modes of material nature. Rise above these modes, O Arjuna, be transcendent to all of them. Be free from all dualities and from all anxieties for gain and safety, and be established in the self. This is from Bhagavad Gita, second chapter, 45th verse. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Salake Chakshurunmilitam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantika Vandeham Shri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrasatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parishana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vidamsha Namao Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaurasve Namaha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Chagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hare Priya Vancha Kalpa Tarumbhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Mukam Karoti Vacha Pangulangaruti Yet Kripaha Tamaham Vande Shri Guru. Hare Krishna. So seek the blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas so that I can speak on this section of Srimad Bhagavatam, the glorification of Lord. Just trying to repeat whatever we have heard. So hope and pray that this will help us to develop love for Krishna and purify one's own hearts. So here in this section of Bhagavatam, we are seeing about the supreme character of Jada Bharat. It's mentioned. So we know that how Bharat Maharaj, Jada Bharat is Bharat Maharaj himself. Uh, how Bharat Maharaj was great king and he left, it's mentioned how he left the whole kingdom just like one, he's so detached. It's mentioned just like one uh, is detached from one's stool. Just he flushes it. Oh, nobody is attached. So he's just detached from his kingdom, family, everything. He left everything and came to the forest to completely focus on the Supreme Lord. But Lord wants to teach us through Bharat Maharaj that how we should be very, very cautious. So we know that how he becomes attached to deer. The deer becomes very dear to his heart, and uh, one point of time, the deer left him, and in searching after the deer, he falls in a ditch and he dies. And while dying, remembers the deer and dies. So next life he becomes a deer, but because he was exalted devotee of the Lord, Lord kindly gave him remembrance of his past life, where he could remember uh, how he left everything and was distracted. So in the body of a deer, he was very, very cautious about not getting entangled. He stayed in the Pulaha ashram near the ashrams of the sages. He ate only dry grass, not even green grass, so that he doesn't become attached. And he was trying to hear the glories of the Lord. And in next life, he took birth as Jada Bharat. Now, after facing such fall down, uh, so he was extremely cautious. Uh, Jada means completely inert, matter in one, means it has no feelings. So he became completely inert to Maya, but internally he was alert to Krishna. So we'll discuss about this aspect later on, becoming inert to Maya, alert to Krishna. So first in this purpose, in this section, we'll discuss little bit what is happening. So his father, as any father would do, he tried to train him. So in those days, the parents were not just training in material education. Okay, my son should go to IIT, get 20 lakhs package, or no. Their worry is not just about material comforts. Their worry is about spiritual training. So they would send their children to Gurukul and train them in Vedic principles. How to serve Lord, how to see everyone as spirit soul. So that training was there, the Vedic principles, how to perform yajnas. So gradually they would get elevated. They would be trained in controlling the senses. So that was their training. So, but the modern education or the parents are not aware how to train the children. So they are only trained in material culture. So where uh, more and more better ways of eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. Ultimately, this is the training. How one can do these things better. Ultimately, the whole civilization is aimed at these things. So, but his father was quite better. But his father was not aware that Jada Bharat is highly elevated. It's like his father was trying to teaching Vedic principles. It's like somebody trying to teach ABCD, but he was not aware that his son is already PhD. He thought I have to teach, A for apple, B for like that, something like that. So alphabets. But he was not aware that his son is so exalted that he is already absorbed in Krishna. The purpose of teaching Vedas, Krishna is telling, Sarvascha chaham hridi sannivishto matta smritirgnanam apohanam cha vedesya sarver ahameva vedyo vedantakrit veda videva chaham. So Krishna is telling, I am in everyone's hearts and I am giving matta smritirgnanam, remembrance, forgetfulness, knowledge. And I am the compiler of the Vedas, and through Vedas I am to be known. Now Jada Bharat is not only knowing Krishna, but he is already following Krishna. He is already serving Krishna, not superficially also, very deeply. But his father is just thinking that he is my son. I have to teach him these basics, Vedic principles, uh, cleanliness, tapasya, performing yajnas, karma kanda. So, but Jada Bharat, why is he not learning? So, because he didn't want to waste time. Now, somebody has his PhD and somebody tries to teach alphabets. Obviously, he will feel why I used to waste my time, right? Because he want to focus his time on serving Krishna, absorbing his mind in Krishna. So the external association of his father, surroundings were distracting him from his service to Krishna. If they were favorable, he would have accepted, but it was not so favorable. This means they were at least Vedic, but not Krishna conscious. There's a difference, right? So that's why anukulasya sankalpa, pratikulasya varjanam. So he rejected what is not favorable. So that's why he's more internally trying to serve Krishna rather than taking that service which his father is trying to teach him. So that's why he's inert. So he's acting like a fool. Now, why he has to act like a fool? Then his father will think, anyway, this fellow is not interested. Because if he starts showing interest, his father will keep showing interest and teach him learning. So if he acts like a fool, then his father, anyway, he is untrainable. So he will leave his son. So that's the reason he acted like a fool and he didn't want to learn from his father. So as it is mentioned, even he is not even washing his hands after passing stool, and also so much extreme he acted uh, completely. So his father and others could not understand why is he like this. So, but the uh, principle is that anukula sankalpa prati. So, but actually, if you see these principles of cleanliness, definitely help Krishna consciousness. It's not that it will not help, but he is beyond all this principles. So we should not imitate like Jada Bharat, thinking that, see, Prabhu, Jada Bharat is pure devotee, but he is unclean. So he is beyond bodily consciousness. Now we are in bodily consciousness. We get affected by modes of tamoguna and rajoguna. So we cannot say that, oh, I'll also be like Jada Bharat, unclean, not take bath or all these things. Probably internally I am. If somebody is saying, hey, get a time for Mangalarti or clean your body, oh, don't disturb. I may be like Jada Bharat. So we cannot say such things because we are conditioned souls. So we cannot imitate Jada Bharat. So we should follow the principles given by Acharyas. Prabhupada has told us to follow the principles. Getting up early in the morning, take bath, so that at least we'll be in mode of goodness and we can practice. Because in our situation, we are in passion, ignorance. If we don't take bath, wash our teeth, all these things, we'll further go into mode of ignorance, right? That's why we see in train, if devotees travel, chant. Most of the devotees face a lot of further ignorance, right? Because they don't take bath, sometimes don't wash teeth also, and in that situation already it is dark, uh, and the whole surrounding is very unclean, filled with tamoguna. All are sleeping, right? So in that situation, we see that how tough it is to chant. Generally, it takes 2 hours to chant, but devotees who is chanting, or after 3-4 hours also, Prabhu, still 8 rounds, or I don't know how many rounds I chanted. I am in some other world. Because so much ignorance covers all of us. So that's why it is important for sadhakas to follow the principles. So, and here in the second, sixth verse, it is mentioned that his father was attached to his son. That's why he was trying to teach like any other ordinary father. Huh? So it is mentioned that he is teaching him all this execution of Vedic vows, regulative methods, service to spiritual master, fire sacrifice. But he is not understanding that when Krishna Bhakti Kaile Sarva Karma Krita Hai. If you serve Krishna, that means you are watering the root. You are performing all other uh, principles to be followed. Because serving Krishna is the essence ultimately. So these other principles mentioned in the Vedas are not required. Because he is already doing the end result. As I said, he already has done his PhD. So no need to learn all these alphabets. So here it is mentioned that he forgot death, but death did not forget him. So that's why at one point of time, he had to die. Death took him away. So that's why it is said, life is preparation, death is examination. So nobody can extend one's life. Prabhupada says that one person was dying and he requested doctor, can you please increase my life for few days? But actually, the doctor said, sorry, I cannot. So actually, ultimately, one should understand only Krishna is our shelter. So Prahlad Maharaj says in his prayers, Balasaneha Sharanam Pitaro Narsimha. How even one's parents cannot protect one's child. Uh, Even doctor may not be able to protect a patient. So Radheshyam Prabhu gives this example that some once in Ganga Sagar Mela in Bengal, West Bengal. So they were going in boat. So the boatman warned that there are crocodiles in the Ganges. So you better don't keep your hand in the waters. So, but one child was playing, keeping his hands in the water. They were little far from the boatman. So suddenly one crocodile caught his hand and started pulling the child. So the mother caught him and tried to pull him back. So there was a tug of war. So the boat started shaking because obviously, uh, so both don't want to leave. So the boatman saw that this boat was shaking. So he said, uh, if you don't leave the child, whole boat will topple, we will fall. All of us have to die because there will be many other crocodiles. Will become breakfast for them all. So you better leave the child. So right in front of the parents, they had to leave the child, and obviously crocodile will finish and the blood started coming out. So right in front of the parents, the child died. So even if there are great, uh, Prabhupada says, great politicians, dictators, kings, they may be thinking that we are the controllers, proprietors of this world. Alexander, or like this, so many, Hiranyakashipu, Hitler, Prabhupada says so many came, Napoleon. So Napoleon, people used to say, France is Napoleon, Napoleon is France. But France remained, Napoleon didn't remain. Correct? Eventually France will also be over. Means material world is dukkalem ashashvatam. But point is, everybody's time will come. So mrityu harva haraschaham. So Prabhupada says everybody has to surrender to Krishna in one way or other. If you directly surrender to Krishna, then at least you can go to spiritual world, the eternal, you can be blissful. Otherwise, you anyway have to surrender to Krishna in the form of death. If you don't surrender directly, indirectly, anyway you have to surrender. You have no choice. It's not that, oh, I don't want to surrender, serve Krishna. No. One way or other, you are either serving his internal energy, otherwise you are serving external energy. You have to serve. So if you don't surrender, then Krishna will make you surrender through the form of death. So you have no choice. So better one surrenders to Krishna. So we see that all these powerful leaders of this world, they try to control and enjoy. So investing in material world is like investing in a uh, material bank account which is not real, fake, fake bank account. So suppose whole life somebody is investing lakhs and lakhs of rupees. And at the end of life, he comes to know that this is fake bank. It's not real, right? He might have invested crores of rupees, but nothing comes at the end. Similarly, whole life we are investing in this body and things in relation with this body. But at the end of life, nothing comes. That's why we see in that story of uh, Mahamurk. We know that story. One sage came to the king, and the king was not so interested. So king said, "What you want?" The sage said, "You appoint one murkha, one fool in your kingdom. Give him a stick and tell him to roam around and give him salary every month." The king said, "What is this?" Many people ask kingdoms, gold coins, cows. You're asking such a different thing. He said, "Okay." So he told soldiers, "Search for one foolish fellow in the kingdom, most foolish fellow, and give him salary. Tell him to go around the kingdom. Every month, give him salary." So, like that, they chose one fellow and did it. So, time passed, and finally, the king became old and was about to die. The king started meeting his friends, relatives, because he knew that he is going to die. So, one day he remembered, "Oh, I had to meet this this Murk. I think he also might have become old. Let me, you know, meet him and maybe I have to appoint one new Murkha and make him retire." So he calls him. So this Murkha, this fool, he asks king, "Oh king, I heard you are going somewhere. Where are you going?" So king says, "You can't understand this." He says, "Okay, at least you take some gold coins with you. It will help." King says, "I can't carry this." He says, "Okay, at least take your family. They can help you." Says, "No, I can't." So like that, the fool says different things. King says, "No." Then king says, "Anyway, you can't understand where I am going. Now you have become old, you retire, I'll give you pension. You appoint one new fool. Find out who is the most foolish fellow in the kingdom. Give it the stick and we'll give him salary." So the Moor, the fool, gave that stick immediately to the king. The king got shocked. "How dare you think that I am fool?" The fool says, "See, O king, why I chose you? Because whole life you worked so hard to earn kingdoms, so much wealth, so many things. But finally, at the time of death, you are saying nothing is going to come. So what is the use? That's why I consider you to be most foolish amongst the all citizens, because none of the citizens worked as hard as you." So the king realized, "Oh, this fellow doesn't seem to be foolish. Who are you?" So he says, "Actually, I am the disciple of that sage. He told me to serve like this. And he said, one day the king may realize his foolishness. So that day you can instruct him." So that's why I stayed all these days in the kingdom as a fool. But now I thought it is an opportunity to instruct you. So the king realized his mistake. At the fag end of life, he realized what he is supposed to do and learned from the sage and got transformed. But the important point is that we should not be like the king, become Mahamurk, foolish, just become attached to things of this body and things in relation with body and uh, this body. So, because then we lose the valuable opportunity to become Krishna conscious, uh, the goal of this human form of life. Like Radhishampur gives this nice example. Suppose if a company gives you a car uh, for company purpose, but some fellow is using for cinemas, roaming around, then company will take away car, give him Luna or scooty. So same way human form of life is meant for Krishna consciousness. But if one misutilizes, uh, it doesn't get promoted. He gets demoted. Means he will get a animal form or bird form of life, right? Because he has misutilized that opportunity. So that's what Prabhupada is telling in this purport, that how uh, people in this world misutilize their human form of life. So another aspect I want to talk is about being alert to Krishna and inner to Maya. Unfortunately, we are alert to Maya and inner to Krishna. How do we know? We have to check ourselves. We can see that when uh, Maya proposes, we accept. In the sense, Maya allures through so many ways, through films, through cricket, through mobile, through so many things, we get distracted easily. But Krishna is all the while available through so many ways, but we are inert. Means we don't accept Krishna in our heart. But Maya easily we accept. How do we know we are accepting Maya? Because what impressions are formed in your mind, that shows whether you are accepting Krishna or not. So we see that even though we may be performing devotional service, but many times we are not actually deeply taking in Krishna in our heart. Those impressions are not formed. When the samskaras or deep impressions are formed, when you are eager, uh, when you are enthusiastic, then only the impressions are formed. But if you are not so eager, when you are doing it very ritualistically, no impressions are formed. Only depression may be there sometimes. So we can see that, but sometimes for material things one may be very eager. So that's why impressions are deeply formed. Like a conditioned soul is eager to watch films. So much he will remember that right from beginning scene to end scene, he will tell everything. How hero entered, what is his first dialogue. From that to end dialogue, he'll remember. Now, same thing if you ask Bhagavatam or what you heard in the class, what you read. Oh, it was about Jada Bharat. That much I'll remember. And I became Jada after some time. I became Jada. But suppose movie or cricket, how much one is eager? Like Jagannath's eyes, big eyes, without blinking also. Fully one is absorbing. Everything goes inside. So like a sponge, one is absorbing in his mind material vibrations. Now spiritual vibrations, like a stone, nothing is going. You are pouring, but nothing is getting absorbed. And one is thinking, so much I am pouring. So much I am chanting Krishna, no Krishna Smaran. Why? Because heart is like a stone. So nothing, no transformation, no absorption. So why we have more faith in Maya and less faith in Krishna? Because we have more faith in Pratyaksha Praman and Anuman Praman and less faith in Shabda Praman. We hear Krishna is all attractive, is most merciful, all this, but still we feel, really? I'm not so sure. But Maya, Pratyaksha Praman, easily available in front, easily accessible, we feel. Although actually Krishna is more accessible, available, giving so much mercy, still we feel that Maya is more attractive and we feel that Maya can satisfy me. So, actually, we should understand that sense gratification may appear nectar. Krishna says that happiness in mode of passion may appear like nectar in the beginning, but actually it is poisonous at the end. The other way around, Krishna consciousness may appear like poison in the beginning, but we should have faith that it is nectar. So, conditioned soul, uh, nectar of instruction, it mentions chanting uh, appears very difficult. Like a jaundice patient can't taste sugar candy. But one should have faith that if I continue Utsahan, Nishaya Dhairya. That's why Rupa Goswami mentioned, not just Utsahan. Should also have faith and patience. So that is the test. Most of the devotees fall prey because they don't have that patience and faith. Because we want everything instantly. Instant coffee, instant everything, instant idli, instant, everything is instant. So we feel instant. I want instant Krishna Prem, instant ecstasy. Now Maya appears instant. Mobile, immediately you click, immediately Maya is present. Oh, instantly I have access to Maya. But Krishna, I am not very sure. Where is Krishna? I don't know. He's in Golok Vrindavan. I am here. I don't know what is happening. We are not very sure about Krishna. But Maya, we are sure. Immediately available, accessible, easily. So I have more faith in Maya. But Maya is cheating us. Maya is alluring and cheating. So in Telugu, this Vemana Shatakam is there. Meli పండు చూడు మేలిమై ఉండును పొట్ట విప్పి చూడు పురుగులుండును పురుషులందు పుణ్య పురుషులు వేరయ్య విశ్వదామి రామ వినురవేమ. So that meli pandu means some English I don't know, but it's very attractive like gold. But if you open it, there is worms and nothing there, right? So same way Maya appears very attractive externally. His material body may appear very attractive, but like doctors, if they dissect the body, there is only one bones, stool, flesh, blood, all this only. But externally, it appears very attractive, correct? But why the body is attractive? Because actually the body is attractive only because of presence of soul. Because once the soul leaves the body, anybody wants to keep the body? No, it starts stinking. So that's why they burn or bury it. So to think that body is attractive is illusion. Because it's not, because then you should be attracted to dead body also. Right? Even Miss World, Miss Universe, nobody is attracted. They want to bury it, burn it. So soul is attractive. And why soul is attractive? So because soul is conscious, that's why when it enters the body, body becomes conscious. The body can talk, speak, have feelings. Otherwise, if body is like that, nobody is attracted. Correct? Body is speaking, talking, walking, smiling. That's why body is attractive. So that means actually soul is attractive, not body. And why soul is attractive? Because it is part and parcel of all attractive Krishna. So one should actually be attracted to Krishna. Not that, oh, Prabhu, soul is attractive, so I'm attracted to that particular soul. Not like that. Huh? But it is part and parcel of Supreme Soul, Krishna. So you should be attracted to Krishna. Huh? So that we should not forget. Right? So it's only illusion that we are attracted to our body and somebody else's body. It's complete illusion. Right? And we are investing so much of our time, energy in this futile, temporary, illusory body. From morning we are thinking, oh, which dress I should wear, what I should eat, how to keep this body, how to dress, how to comb. Whole day, 24 hours focus is on body. And ultimately, Shramayi Kevalam, waste. Yeah, it's like investing in a false bank account where you are just investing whole life in this body. Ultimately, what remains is ashes. Correct, no? Or in some religions, they bury stool. Birds will eat if you leave the body, or worms will eat when you bury. So, what remains of this body is stool and ashes. So, that's what we are attached to, right? So, that is a fact of this material world. Some may feel, oh, what is this? But that is a fact. So, we should not unnecessarily get distracted. So, that doesn't mean we should not take care of the body, because currently we are in the body, like car and driver. So, you have to take care of the car, you have to take care of the driver also. But what we are doing, we are only cleaning the car, taking care of the car. Driver is fasting. So we are not feeding the soul. Soul is dissatisfied. And that dissatisfaction is manifesting as lust, greed, anger. And we are thinking that, oh, maybe my body is not happy. Feed me, feed him, feed his mind, feed his body. So we are trying to satisfy mind and body by engaging in sense gratification, gross and subtle. And we are thinking that that will satisfy me. Like fish out of water. You give him AC, you give him mobile, you give ice cream, still it is not satisfied. So soul is never satisfied without Krishna. We are so foolish that we are just thinking that this body and mind will satisfy me. Never, for millions of lifetimes you try, it will never satisfy. Only Krishna can satisfy, because we are his part and parcel, and Krishna is Sarvakarshak. Bhagavan, six opulences in full. Only he can attract the soul forever and satisfy us fully. None of the people, things of this world can satisfy us fully forever. Right? Now a boy may be attracted to girl. How long? If she becomes ugly, old, will he be attracted? So, next girl. Right? If a girl is attracted to boy for money, suppose boy becomes poor, she will be attracted? No. Next boy. So that is the nature of material world. So none of the people will have opulences for full or forever. Only Krishna has that opulences are full and forever. So better we become attracted to Krishna, because he has opulences forever and full. He only can satisfy you forever. You are foolishly searching for that pleasure, happiness in so many places. I will see cinema, I'll eat this, I'll do that. Maybe this will make me happy. Maybe going there will make me happy. We are trying in so many ways, but none of them will make us happy. Only Krishna will make us happy. So we should be convinced about this fact, that I am foolishly trying to search for that pleasure and happiness, the temporary illusory things. Eating, sleeping, mating, defending. Now eating, what is eating? We are just trying to satisfy lump of flesh. Tongue means what? Lump of flesh. On that, how much time food is there? For few seconds. For that satisfaction, we are uh, so much working hard. Correct, no? We are attached to so many different forms of eatables. But ultimately, we should not be attached. Even in the form of prasadam, sometimes we become attached. That's why Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to mix all Mahaprasad. Because he would see that sannyasis would take only gulab jam, only sweet or samosa which they like. So he said, oh, they are becoming attached to this only particular form of Mahaprasad. Then he would mix everything. He said, now you take. Because everything is Mahaprasadam. No? Why only sweets or, correct? Everything is Mahaprasad. Everything is, why you are attached to that? So, even in devotional service, we become attached to what gives me sense gratification, not what gives pleasure to Krishna. We are attached to what gives me sense gratification. So in that we become attached. That is a fact. That's why Prabhupada said, even if you are attached to gulab jamun, you have to stay in material world. Yeah, that's what Prabhupada said. So we should, even in devotional service, sometimes we are attached. What gives me pleasure? And I keep doing only those activities. Why? Because that gives me gross and subtle satisfaction. This is satisfying me grossly and subtly. So those things I will keep doing again. Sometimes even somebody want to sing again. Why? Oh, everybody is glorifying me, so let me sing. So whether it is gross or subtle satisfaction, if your satisfaction is aimed at yourself, means you are thinking about your pleasure, that is not Krishna consciousness. That is only superficial, because you are only worried about your own satisfaction of mind and senses. But real Krishna consciousness means satisfying Krishna's senses, right? Atma Indriya Priti Vancha Tarabale Kam, Krishna Indriya Priti Vancha Tarabale Prem. Means you are satisfying Krishna's senses, it is love for Krishna. You are satisfying your own senses, it is lust. So even in the name of Krishna consciousness, sometimes we may doing sense gratification. Yeah. Either gross or subtle. So that's why one will one will remain in material world. So one should be very careful. Even preaching can become sense gratification. How? One may be attached to name, fame. Oh, see how he is preaching, and people will glorify. Oh, he has so many followers, or this and that. So one may be attached to that activity because he is getting recognition. So one should be very careful, even in Krishna consciousness, whether I am doing those activities for my pleasure or Krishna's pleasure. So one should regularly hear Krishna's glories and become attracted to his Nama Rupa Guna Leela and develop more and more faith in him. Although he is not visible or may not be currently reciprocating directly in front, actually he is there in the form of deities, Bhagavatam, holy name. He is reciprocating. But we are so dull, like a stone, that we don't understand that he is reciprocating. Maya, we feel, oh, Maya is reciprocating very fast. Krishna, we feel, where is he reciprocating? I am not very sure. First of all, we are not engaging properly in service. So then how will reciprocate? We are like stone. And then we also become attached to sense gratification. Right? So actually we should understand that Krishna is reciprocating. That's why we are in devotional service. Somebody is able to chant, follow 4 regulative principles. That means Krishna is reciprocating. Otherwise, how you will sit in Bhagavatam and hear glories of Krishna or chant his holy names, render service? That itself is Krishna's reciprocation. The fact that we are able to practice Krishna consciousness itself means that Krishna is reciprocating with us. Guru is reciprocating with us. Otherwise, we cannot practice. Correct? That is a fact. So Krishna is so merciful. He is Suhrit. He is our best friend. He is always with us. He is just beside the soul. He is our best friend. Soul is here. Super soul is just next to the soul. He is always eager. When will this soul turn his face towards me? When will he start serving me? The moment he shows some interest, immediately Krishna will arrange all the things required for his advancement. Right? And that is a fact. When we show little bit desire to serve him, Krishna will arrange everything required for our advancement. So we should understand that actually this body, mind, soul, everything belongs to him. And Krishna is so kind that he gave me this human form of life and arranging so many things materially, spiritually for my advancement. The association of devotees, so many different forms of gurus, ways of gurus manifesting in my life and guiding. internally is guiding as super soul, externally through gurus and through scriptures. In so many ways, He is trying to guide me. So He is showering His mercy in so many ways. So I should actually recognize how Krishna is giving His mercy and try to reciprocate with Him. So that's what we are supposed to do. Many times we don't actually recognize or think how Krishna is actually giving His mercy, right? So we should think every day about this when we get up. Oh Krishna, you are so kind that you gave me one more day to serve you in this human form of life. Let me utilize and try to serve you today. So we should remind ourselves uh, of Krishna's mercy in our life and be grateful. If we are not grateful, we are great fools. Because Krishna is giving us everything, but we are so ungrateful that we don't want to serve Him. Right? At every second, He is showering us with His mercy. Because, like, if you don't have air, oxygen, in few seconds we will all die. So that means His mercy is at every second. Right? So, but we take it so cheaply many times. That is our problem. So today we discussed about Jada Bharat, uh, how his father was trying to train him, but he didn't knew that Jada Bharat was already very exalted. So as I say, gave the example, he has already done his PhD. He doesn't need all this. And also we discussed how death, Krishna comes in the form of death and takes away everything for materialistic people. So one should prepare one's life. Life is preparation, death is examination. So every day we should prepare, uh, take it as a, in a sense of urgency that death can come anytime. So I should become Krishna conscious. And we also discussed how we should be inert to Maya and alert to Krishna. We discussed reasons why we are like that and how we can become more and more alert to Krishna, who is showering His mercy at every second. So Krishna says, Matta parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya Mai sarvam dam protram sutre managa. He is behind everything. So we may not be able to see that how Krishna is behind everything. But we should realize that this is actually Krishna sending me so lovingly as a loving father. Although I am so rotten, so sinful, so conditioned, still He is so merciful and He is so forgiving. So we should realize His causeless mercy in our lives and try to reciprocate with His mercy. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this is how we can reciprocate with Krishna's mercy by chanting the holy names and receiving His mercy in our heart. That is how Krishna is available so easily to all of us. So we'll end here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki chai, Prabhupada ki chai, Samveta Gaurav. So in case somebody has questions, they can ask me personally. Hare Krishna.